Welcome, High Vibe humans. You are listening to the Golden Gaian Adventure podcast. Hey, all you High Vibe humans, Breezy here, and welcome to the Golden Gaian Adventure podcast. Today's show, we are talking about glass art. Now, this show is dedicated to the evolution of consciousness on this planet by sharing empirically supported scientific information in order for other high vibe humans like yourself to make informed decisions about the world around them. There are 3 themes if you're new. It is staying healthy, staying light, and not giving up the fight. And each one of these themes has a deeper meaning. Health, of course, refers to the body. Light refers to your spiritual connection, and the fight refers to social justice and what it means to be a human living on this planet and interacting in social systems. So today's topic is glass art, and I am very, very blessed to be in the presence of Jesse Del Rio, a wonderful glass artist. He has performed at the Great Lakes Art Fair in Novi, Michigan, as well as at the Vehicle City Social in Flint, Michigan. And he has been blowing glass for 2 years now. So I'm really excited to introduce you to him. And here he is.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you for joining me today, Jesse.
Anytime. I'm glad to be here.
So just tell me a little bit about what kind of torch you're working with currently, and tell me a little bit about your glass setup.
Right now, I'm working with a Herbert Arnold 40 millimeter single port centerfire. I've got a small glass hive kiln running propane and oxygen through my torch. I'm working with borosilicate glass.
All right, that's a really big distinction. A lot of people, when they hear glass blowing, they think of soft glass, right?
That's right, most of the time. That's what like jars and glasses and stuff like that are made out of.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So what kinds of things do you make?
I like to make pipes and pendants, rigs or bongs, things like that.
Awesome. I've seen your art and it's beautiful. And if you High Vibe humans want to check out all of his beautiful creations, you can go to his Instagram.
That's at offbeat_glass.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And it'll be in the description below, just so you can check it out. So I brought you on the show today because one of my themes is staying healthy and the other is staying light. And I kind of know a little bit about how you got into glass art, but did you want to tell the High Vibe humans about why you chose glass?
Why I chose glass. So I think it starts when I was around 25 and I was working in a shop full time. And I would get home every day and I would notice how tired I am and how little time that we had. So I knew that I needed to do something to market myself, something that I could get better at and that I could work at towards success. So I chose glass because I'm already part of the cannabis culture. Not to say that glass has to be mixed with cannabis, but I chose pipes and rigs and bongs and things like that because I am already part of the cannabis culture. So to me, it was joining a community, getting deeper into a community that I was already a part of.
So you were able to connect with other humans through your glass art.
That's right. Yeah, that's the goal.
And I bet that was really empowering for you.
It has been. Yes. Yep, I've been places and met people that I would have never met had it not been for glass.
Speaking of places you've been and people you've met, how did you learn glass? Who taught you?
Well, I started teaching myself through videos and reading a lot, and then experimenting once I had a torch. After that, I went to a small class in Pennsylvania. I drove there by myself, and it was with Pedro Grime, who's a great sculptor in glass. And then I took a small lesson from Pete Weiss, who is a Michigan native. He works in Lansing currently, and he's just an amazing glass artist, and I love his style. So I chose him. I chose him specifically because of his taste. Beyond that, I went to a Kevin Murray class at Mickelson Studios in Florida to learn some line work techniques and stringer techniques, and that was just amazing. He's been working glass for 15 years, and he's extremely talented and well known. Yep. And soon I'll be taking a coil and freak class, and I'm very excited for that. Coil is just an amazing all-around artist. He works with so many different mediums, and he's a great guy.
Wow, that is amazing. You have an impressive resume right there.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, we're always growing, and it sounds like you're really developing this skill. And you had told me once about you wanting to use this skill as a way to give back.
Yeah, that's right. When I was working in the shop, I didn't really have much time to give back, and also I'm young, so I'm constantly working on my life. So I don't really have a whole lot of money to spare on the side. Glass was a way for me to get into a community where I could give to my friends.
Yeah, you could make something and you could give it to them as a gift.
Either that, or I could make stuff and sell it for charity. I could raffle things off for charity and then say that it's going to a good cause. I had a friend who had a dog that developed some sort of cancer or something like that, and it ended up passing away. But I remember when the dog was sick, he had people reaching out to him and giving him free food from their food truck that was free of antibiotics and pesticides and all that stuff, and it was organic, and they had dog food and food for humans too. So I wanted to help any way that I could.
Mm-hmm. So you finally have developed a skill where you can make things that you really like to make.
That's right.
So it kind of gives you purpose and a meaning.
Yes.
That's kind of what it means to stay healthy, right? To find your purpose in life in order to keep yourself going.
I think so. Yeah, mentally and physically. I think a lot, so it really helps take my mind off of worrying.
So it's kind of meditative.
It is.
Can you describe what it's like to be on the torch?
Yeah. Once I'm on the torch and really in the zone, I don't really think about much else other than the timing and the heat base and what my hands are doing. So it really helps me to get away from the daily grind besides glass, which is my daily grind.
That's your grind.
Yeah. But everything else, all the other worries and things, they kind of just go away as I'm in the zone and excited for the piece that I have in my hands that I'm making, and also scared, hoping that it doesn't break on me and that I don't do anything wrong.
So how has glass helped you heal?
Oh boy. So just to give me a space where I can be myself, by myself, without anybody else's perspective on me, and just a place that I can kind of sink away into my own space, mentality. It's helped me heal. It's helped me heal from my past. I've been through a lot of things, traumatic things, I guess you could say. And it pushes me to be like the best me that I can be, which gives me something to look forward to, which kind of helps my past like sink away and fall away, burn away, if you will. It keeps me going forward, and I know that I have something to look forward to, even if it's just a small piece sitting in my kiln, or if it's another trip that I'm going to take, or if it's this mysterious future that I'm running towards.
It gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah, which mentally really helps because I'm a worrier. I tend to worry about things and about my future and if I'm doing the right thing in life.
So it kind of grounds you in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also keeps me ungrounded.
Because it's ever changing and shifting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I never know where it's going to take me. But I know that I can count on myself. So as long as there's that, then I have hope.
That's powerful. So you've talked about how it's been helping you mentally. So how do you stay healthy? Like, how do you take care of your body, and why do you think that is important to glass blowing?
Well, I know that I have to go into my studio with a good attitude, or at least the best place that I can be, the best attitude that I can have. Glass doesn't like it when you're angry, and it doesn't like it when you're rushing or when you're frustrated. You might as well just take a break at that point. So I know that going into my glass studio, I have to feed myself well. I can't eat like a ton of sugar and have my mind all clouded. Also, staying hydrated is very important, and I think that's a little bit deeper than the surface because glass is also an element. It turns into a liquid, and I think that you really have to vibe with it as you're working with it, and so I think it's important for you to stay hydrated in that sense.
It affects the glass energetically in some way.
I feel like it does. I really do. And then also, I have to be well rested so that I can think about the process and what I'm going to make. And it's not only glass. I have to communicate with stores and think about prices and things like that. So I need a clear mind for all of that. And taking care of myself really helps.
Right. You don't drink alcohol.
No, that's right. I believe that, and especially so since I'm working for myself, that energy is extremely important because to me, energy is going to convert itself into currency. If I look at money as potential energy, it's energy that I've used, kinetic energy that I've used, that created this potential energy that I can again use for myself. So it goes around and it comes around.
And so keeping your body healthy, hydrated, well rested.
As energized as I can be and as happy as I can be.
And that kind of ensures that you'll be successful.
I believe that's true.
And I think that by staying in a really healthy state of mind and in a healthy body, you'll be able to save time because you won't be having clouded thinking, and you'll also save materials.
Yep, that's right. Materials are expensive.
So, wow, that's really powerful. I remember you telling me a story about like one of your glassblowers you look up to who tries to keep a really healthy lifestyle. What was his name again?
Ben Burney.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ben Burney is just an awesome human all around. He practices yoga and travels a lot, which I also believe that keeping your chakras nice and wide open is great for any creative person, or even to begin a creative journey, because I believe that we all are artistic. It doesn't matter if you work with a certain medium. Life is a medium in itself. You can be an artist just in the way that you move, just in the way that you carry yourself throughout the day.
Preach. Everyone is an artist. I totally get behind that. Art doesn't have to be this rigid thing that we have to define. The creative energy is out there and it will find you. And so when you feel inspired, you need to seize that moment and really pull that energy in, because you might wake up and wonder what to do with yourself again if you don't tap into that creative energy in the moment, into that inspiration, that divine spark in that moment. So it's important to know that everyone is an artist and it touches each of us in a different way. So when studying the world through the eyes of a glass blower, What does that have to do with your subconscious? Do you notice patterns more often?
Oh, yeah, my subconscious. Actually, I have a lot of funny things happen in like conversations and things like that. I'll be having a conversation or be overhearing a conversation, and like somebody will say something and maybe the other person won't quite get it all the way. And in my head, I'll literally see like a cold seal or something like that, or like maybe a blow tube going into a piece all wonky or something connecting to it all wonky. And so it's really funny how glass affects my day-to-day life. I've actually been holding something for too long and thought it was going to crack when I wasn't even in my studio.
Like you thought, like your cell phone?
Yeah, I think it was my cell phone.
Because normally, so let me explain that for you high vibe humans. If your glass piece is outside of the kiln for too long, it cools down, and it might cool down at different rates, which will cause it to crack. And so for glass blowers, the time outside the kiln is really important.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
So if you're holding something for too long, it might crack. And that was the feeling that he had about his cell phone. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So through the eyes of a glassblower, your world kind of shifts. So you've talked about your mindset that you try to use to get on the torch. You try to be in a really good mindset. Can you speak any more to that? Mm-hmm. Like an attitude of gratitude?
Yeah. I definitely have to go in there as peaceful as you can be. I do try to meditate, and it doesn't mean that I like sit down in a big silent room and meditate, but I will take time throughout the day and take deep breaths and try to clear my mind and come back to center wherever I'm at. And I do this quite often in my studio if I'm about to make a move that's like just a scary move. So I'll take a few breaths and keep my peace in the flame. And then right before I make my move, I take a nice, deep, slow breath. And then I go ahead and just do the best that I can.
That's very powerful that you just said that, because in my most recent podcast with Shannon on Awakening with the Girls, we talked about claiming your power and using the present moment to really empower you. And so it sounds like that's what you do throughout the day.
Yeah. Yep. I try to seize the moment. Also, yeah, my mind wanders a lot. So to come back to center as often as I can when I catch myself wandering too much is really helpful.
Yeah, I can definitely see how if your mind is wandering, then your personal power is all over the place, which kind of leads you to be distracted while you're blowing glass. And so your focus is kind of all over the place. And so when you use that breath, you really are honing your focus. That's great. So that really does speak to the power of tuning into the present moment. And it speaks to your spiritual connection to the glass.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So we've talked about staying healthy and staying light. And let's talk about the fight in glass art. So is there any political, social justice piece to glass art right now? Like, for example, making pipes was a political thing for a long time.
Yeah, it was. It was very, you can't even say frowned upon. People that were just making a living making glass pipes were getting arrested, were getting their homes raided back in the early 2000s. And they really had to fight. So now they're loosening up. They're definitely getting better. It's not as frowned upon. So things are getting more mainstream with glass. And as cannabis is becoming more mainstream throughout the nation, things are opening up and there's avenues opening up for people as far as that industry goes.
That's impressive. I can even tell the difference because you performed at the Great Lakes Art Fair this year, right?
Yes, I did.
What was that experience like?
That was really neat. The first day that I performed there, that I was blowing glass there, I had mostly my pendants out and a couple of vases and stuff like that, and I was making solid pieces. The second day, I decided to put pipes out and a couple of rigs and stuff like that, and I actually sold one of my nicer pieces to another. I think he was a glass artist. I believe he was a salt glass artist. And then we had a hot shop guy, which is soft glass, where you see the teams and the crucibles. He wanted a pipe demo. So I showed him how to make a pipe, and he's extremely excited to get into borosilicate lamp working. And he wants to go to the Michigan Glass Project this year, where a lot of the big name glass artists go, and there's like 20 or 30 of them on a torch at the same time, and they're all just blowing down or blowing glass and throwing down on collaborations and stuff like that. And they auction all the pieces made for the schools of Detroit for their art curriculum.
Yeah, that's right. The Michigan Glass Project raises money for art in schools in Detroit.
Yes, it's an absolutely amazing organization, and it's really underground right now, and the energy there is incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
So there really is a strong social justice piece to glass art, to lamp working and borosilicate glass too, specifically.
There really is. For a long time, they wasn't looked at as art. And still, even to this day, they're just now kind of being accepted as artists, and the whole glass and lamp working world is being accepted as artists by other artists, big name artists and collectors. So, yeah, you could say that there's some political things involved.
Mm-hmm. And it's really powerful to see how each one of us high vibe humans, no matter what you're into, whether it be hula hooping, glass art, or, bead making, macrame, crochet, or maybe it's creating computers from scratch. Each one of our specialities does have a political social justice piece to it, because we do work within the human systems, within the social systems. So it's really powerful to hear that organizations like the Michigan Glass Project are raising money for schools in Detroit who can't afford to maintain their own art programs. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important, because everyone is an artist, and every child needs to have that opportunity to express their artistic side. And if they don't have the funding, then they don't get that opportunity. So I really enjoy hearing glassblowers step up to the plate.
Yeah, absolutely. The first year that I went, they donated $100,000 to Detroit art curriculum. And yeah, what you say is right. Everybody has their own personal spice to bring to this world. And if you're not able to blossom, then how are you supposed to bring that? How are you supposed to show us what you've got? And that's what we're here for. The only thing that we're here for is to learn.
Mm-hmm. And grow and understand how we can help other people learn and grow.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining me at this time. Is there anything you want to share with the high vibe humans?
Sure. Just don't give up the fight. It's tough out there. It is a struggle. Every day can be a struggle. But don't get down on yourself too much, because when you know how strong you are and you can keep going, even if, some people out here they're lonely, and they're so lonely. If you don't have anybody, just know that you have yourself, and you can always have your own back, and just believe that and work with that, and you'll start to enjoy it. So I guess just what I have to say is life can be really hard and really challenging, but if you believe in yourself and have your own back, then you're going to make it. You're going to do it no matter what.
Yeah, you have to be your biggest fan in your corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to be the one cheering you on, because nobody else is going to do that job for you. You have to do it for yourself first, and that's when other people take notice.
That's right. And you have to believe it. You have to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm. And put that effort in too. I believe that if you go like 100%, the universe is going to meet you the rest of the way and help you get that 150.
Yep, I believe that.
Mm-hmm. They're going to meet you halfway. Speaking of connecting with the universe, and at this time, I normally do an angel card reading for our topic today. And so I'm kind of wondering if the angels would like to weigh in on our glass art conversation. And we're just exploring glass art and how it can really make you healthy, connect you spiritually, and connect you to the social justice piece. So how I connect with the angels is by taking a deep breath. And at this time, Jesse, high vibe humans, you may do so with me. And I'm just shuffling my cards and opening myself to the angels. May all my readings be filled with blessings and love for all those involved. Angels, what do you have to say about glass art today? Alrighty. We got 2 cards. The first card is Fairies. So obviously glass art is really fun and playful. And with the fairies, you have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. You said that glass was like an element, right? It's its own element made out of sand?
Yes. Basically, yeah. Silica.
Yeah.
Silica.
Mm-hmm.
Silica.
So you're connecting with Earth in quite a unique way.
Yes, absolutely. All of the elements.
Mm-hmm. Fire. Wow, yeah.
Fire, air, water with our tincture. Moisture. Definitely moisture.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And earth.
Wow. I didn't realize that glass art was so involved with all 4 elements. I really thought it was just like fire because of the torch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then there's the underlying elements involved.
And just like that, this card also means that the fairies are helping you meet your physical needs and fulfill your life's purpose. So they urge you to spend time outdoors, and that will help you with your mission, because spending time outdoors will be connecting you with the soil, with the water, and with the air. And they also will protect you and guide you. So this card indicates that you're interested in manifesting money or some other material support.
Wow.
And the fairies are very glad to assist you in this endeavor and provide you with all of these things. And in return, they ask that you do good things for the environment, such as recycling and switching to eco-friendly cleaning products.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So not only are you connecting with nature, but nature is connecting with you and really encouraging you and saying you are hitting your life's purpose. You're hitting the nail on the head with this one, Jesse.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the second card, base chakra. So choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, finances, and as your words determine your outcome. Because you should choose only positive thoughts. Jesse's giving me this really interesting look right now. You can't see it, but he's glaring at me. Earlier in the podcast, he said that every day is a challenge, and today happens to be one of those days. It's a little bit of a challenge in the glass world for Jesse.
That's right. I'm practicing a new technique. So when Brianna got home, I was sulking. I was very frustrated with this technique today.
Mm-hmm. And so the angels are reminding all of us that when we get frustrated with ourselves or when we seem to hit like a rough patch, that we should choose only positive thoughts to describe what we're working on. How do you feel about that, Jesse?
I believe it to be so, and I know that I have a little bit of work to do on that, but I am working on that, and I know that I have the work to do. So I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it can be difficult to really identify when we have negative self-talk or when we get caught in negative thought spirals, right? And we just keep thinking or creating negative scenarios or coloring our personal narrative with negative colors, right? With negative images, with negative words. And so when it's difficult to identify that, it's important to come to center, find a way to come to the present moment, whether it be by taking a breath or rubbing your palms together, as we discussed in the Awakening with the Girls podcast. Whether you choose any one of those techniques, you can also choose using positive words. And once you do that, you're able to really overcome what you were struggling to deal with. You're able to see those frustrations in a positive light. You're able to see it as a challenge that you're willing to rise to meet instead of playing a victim role. So the angels had some pretty powerful stuff to say for connecting with nature, saying that this is your life's purpose. And the fairy in this card is holding a strand of pearls. So we're manifesting financial income. We're manifesting wealth in some way at this time. And also the base chakra, your root chakra, you want to choose only positive things to describe your home life, your career. Those are the things that help, that make you up, right? You also choose those things. So it's important to really choose a home base that you can enjoy, and also choose positive words to describe that. And if you have a hard time finding positive words, then maybe it's time to change up your career or your home life in some way. Maybe that's just not working out for you, and this is the indication you needed to make that change.
Yep, and that can be hard sometimes, but you have to bite the bullet. I just switched careers. I quit my full-time job because I didn't have very much time after work on my hands. I felt like I was always stressed out and rushing. And when I messed up at work, I started the negative self-talk, and that would just spiral downhill. And I could see it really affecting my home life and affecting my glass, and eventually affecting what would be my present, but my future. It was affecting my future. So I quit my job, and I knew that I was going to make a lot less money to start with, but working a lot less hours too, and that's a little bit, tough for me to deal with. But sometimes you just have to do what you have to do.
Yeah, if you knew that you had to quit your job in order to be healthier.
That's right. And my self-talk has gotten better. My body feels better. Everything just seems brighter and seems to be moving forward much quicker and smoother.
Mm-hmm. I can see where maybe making less in income, making less money would be kind of scary, but the trade-off seems way more valuable because
Mm-hmm.
health is wealth, right?
Yep, that's right. And we live in a day and age now where there's jobs everywhere. I mean, you can get a job on your phone to be a Lyft driver or go watch somebody's dog. There's so many different options right now.
Yeah, so it's always easy to get a part-time job in order to really pursue your passion.
Mm-hmm. And if we can minimize our lifestyle, and maybe if you have to sell some things on eBay or anything like that, just go for it. Start chopping those bills up. And
yeah, you made some sacrifices too when you got into glass. You sold this like a big toolbox.
Oh yeah, I sold my toolbox. I mean, I had to take out a loan in the beginning to help myself afford the torch that I wanted, and I traded up and sold some things and just kind of maneuvered my way to where I'm at now. You don't always start with the best stuff, and you don't always start in the best spot. You have to do what you can.
Speaking of spots, you moved around a lot as a glassblower.
Yes, I think this is my fourth or fifth spot that I've been in, fifth spot that I've been in. And I had to rent some space for a while because I couldn't work at home, and I knew that I wasn't moving fast enough. I wasn't getting better fast enough for myself, so I made some sacrifices and spent some money and bought a trailer so that I could set my studio up there. So, and that's been working out great. Yeah, I had definitely made some sacrifices, lots of sacrifices. And I just have to keep trusting myself because I've put everything that I have into it.
So you have to trust that you're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to get her done. Well, I really appreciate you coming on here and sharing your experiences. It sounded like some of that was a little vulnerable, so I really appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, no problem. I don't mind being open. I know it helps everybody.
Yeah.
If I can help other people, then I don't mind.
Thank you. Thank you for using your voice to share your story.
Anytime. Thank you for interviewing me. It was nice to be here.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. And thank you, High Vibe Humans, for tuning in today. And thank you, Angels, for your input on today's show. And thank you to the Bring Me to Life Network for creating spaces for High Vibe Humans to connect. And I hope that you, the High Vibe Human listeners, enjoyed this show. And if you did, please like and share with all your friends. Also, spread love and subscribe. And if you're tuning in now or in the future, just know that energetically you're receiving these downloads. You are getting information, and you are also getting light codes coming in. So thank you for tuning in today to today's episode. I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. For more updates, you can go to my website, www.goldengaian.com. And until next time, High Vibe Humans, stay healthy, stay light, and don't give up the fight. Breezy out.